Hi, wish you a very powerful full moon day. Today is also an Independence Day for everybody. Many great wishes for the same. Today, this full moon is very different. This full moon is in Aquarius, and it's a very tense affair. And as a result, I thought I would be making a video for the same. Um, it's going to be a very difficult full moon. It's one of the most eccentric full moon that you can have, or maybe worse than the eccentric full moons that we have ever had in our life. Because there's a stellium of planets against this entire full moon, and this entire thing is happening right between the energy portal of 888. So right, a full moon in the Lionsgate energy portal. So you can imagine how crazy the entire sky and the astrological cosmic energies are being chased out one after another. Okay, so most of us do not understand those things. So my idea was to break down this entire thing and let you know how this full moon is going to be working for all of us. Is going to be very difficult because right now full moon in Leo happening in Aquarius is totally about emotional freedom. So I'll get back to you when we'll be talking about the emotional freedom. I'll come back to the whole thing, but that's the punchline. That's the core punchline of this entire full moon, is all about the freedom that you really, really want. So it's going to be very difficult balancing between the logical and the rational thinking and the illogical aspect and the emotional. See, full moons are basically supposed to be highly intuitive, and we are at the peak of the emotions. We have a lot of emotional and instinctive sides, and a lot of crazy irrational side also could be experienced during this full moon. It's going to be what the heart says. It's never going to be on what it is going to be thinking logically and follow what your mind is saying or your brain is saying. So this is going to be absolutely crazy. Mostly, ideally, full moons are supposed to be the times for closures and culminations and endings of a series or a pattern. Of course, this full moon is also going to be the same, but it's going to pan out very differently. I would sincerely make an appeal to everybody to be very, very balanced, follow logic, be reasonable. Uh, Not only you be reasonable, but allow the other person have the patience to tolerate their nonsense, because probably you are aware today these people who are not aware would be acting into the same pattern as what they are normally acting, and this full moon is going to be acting crazy on them. So it's going to be a difficult period ahead. um Also, this full moon is going to be, see, most of the time we don't want to be in a certain scenario. As much as we want to be part of that entire scenario, we don't want to be part of that. So this is going to be a bringer. This full moon is going to be a bringer of the truth. The truth that we don't want, the situations that we don't want, the issues that we don't want to deal with, we are going to be facing, depending on your chart and your energies. We might be put up into the situations and we would be facing all of that. So I would, when I say when we don't want to know a certain truth, it's not that we don't want, but it's that we be wearing a guise of being a ethical person or an emotional person or a moral person, or we have society etiquettes and all of that, and that's why we do not want to indulge into certain things. Like, for example, if somebody has committed suicide, though in our rational mind we do know that we should not be digging into that aspect, but the wild guilt side in us, would want to know why did the person do that. So we would be put up in a situations which we don't want to. Not that we don't want to, but we didn't want to be in that place on the first place because of certain social etiquettes, but at the core level, on when we go over to the animal instinct or the survival instinct, we would want to be into those situations or places. There is a huge possibility of you saying things which you never meant to say, it just comes out, it does not mean that you didn't mean to. You always meant to say certain things, but then we sometimes, we kind of gaslight it, or sometimes we kind of sugarcoat it, or sometimes we just kind of twist around the words, be diplomatic, and we inform the other person, or sometimes we just keep quiet and we don't let to know. But tomorrow is one of those, starting from tomorrow, one of those phases is going to start where it will be impossible to put a leash on your words, on your actions, on your emotions, on any of that thing, also. With Mars into the picture, there is going to be a lot of undercurrent aggression, anger, which is there, normally we are able to balance it and control these emotions, but with tomorrow's full moon energies, it's going to be very difficult. So my sincere request to everybody would be not to kind of get into any situations or scenarios where it would be difficult for you to retract back, another aspect to the whole thing is, with Pluto also into the picture, it kind of manipulates, so you will be tackling a lot of situations, you will be facing a lot of situations or issues, or being with people where there is a whole lot of possibility of you being manipulated. You cannot read it clearly. So what happens is, if somebody takes you for a ride, and normally you do have that level of patience, but considering tomorrow's from tomorrow onwards, it's going to be very difficult. So I would want you to say a lot of mantras which would balance you. I would want you to drink a lot of water, which would balance you. Again, full moon is related to mind and water, so it would kind of pacify you, it would do that. Your body organs, like sheens, Achilles, heels, knees, legs, and muscles, yeah, and muscles. These are the organs that you could be affected with that, because it's all related to growth, and anything that you do which can put you off your guard, so that is one of the reason why a full moon is going to be a little problematic. I would recommend not to go in for any surgeries for about next 1 month, yeah, for next 1 month probably. We'll be having a new moon on 15th of August, so maybe around 30th of August we'll be having a new moon in Virgo, which would be a lot of healing energies would be coming in by virtue. So probably post that, it could be a good scenario for you to go into that, any surgeries, but otherwise, till that much of time, it is better if you avoid it, or then you consult your personal astrologer and go ahead with that, this full moon is also kind of going um, um, is in India, it said, it's very easy for us to file a legal case against each other, because we know the cases are going to go on forever, ever and ever. But now, with new government coming in and new systems and policies coming in, they have put up a fast track court, and with that, a lot of cases are moving forward, and everybody's cases are coming into the picture. Is a similar scenario what we are going to. It's not that we have not made any mistakes, we definitely have made a lot of mistakes. Of course, we are not lords, so we do keep making a lot of mistakes, and all those mistakes are actually coming into the power with Saturn and Pluto combination happening. It's a very tricky scenario for us, because whatever you have done, like we said, as you sow, so shall you reap, kind of, so jo kiya hai wo bhugatna padega. So we don't know actually what files of ours are going to, is it going to be a brownie turning point that for which we are going to be rewarded and awarded, or is it going to be some negative karma for which we are going to be punished, you know? But nevertheless, that thing is going to happen. The cause and the effect actually is kind of very, very crucial thing. I'm sorry, a crucial thing that's going to be happening in from tomorrow onwards, you know. um, so I would want you to make for the next month, I would want you to request you to make a collective choices of our past have brought us to this scenario. And no matter how much we try to wring our hands out of this entire thing, we are not going to be escaped, you know. But we have a moment of redemption, where we can absolve, we can try to absolve. What we have done is to make wise choices, you know. And those wise choices probably can help us by following certain virtues. So one of the best virtues is to keep mum, be patient, be into the awareness that you know, this, the time is probably not right. A lot of energies are working, you know. Even if there are good energies, they are working, you know. It's not in your capacity to hold that much of energies, you know. So there's a whole lot of a possibility that you might not be able to take those energies, and you might want to act and react on a different way. So best part is, you know, remember what I have told you. This is all momentary, it's all temporary. It's the cosmic play that is happening, which is bringing a lot of planets against each other. And with the full moon, of course, it's going to be a lot of energy downloads that has happened. So my entire suggestion to you is, you know, a chant mantra. Gayatri mantra probably is really, really very nice to chant. That's one mantra that you can chant at any point of time. It has different outcomes, you know, and all positive outcomes, definitely. So Gayatri mantra is definitely recommended. Be rational, be very focused, be close to your objectives. If somebody is trying to hurt you, knowingly or unknowingly, I would want you to kind of, you know, let them pass, give them a chance. Also, I if possible, today you can do a forgiveness meditation. That would be really, really good. In case if you cannot do a forgiveness meditations, there are a lot of forgiveness meditations available on YouTube. Unfortunately, I'll not be able to take one, though I had planned, but I don't think I'll be able to do that. So I would recommend you to download some from Google, YouTube, sorry, and you can do it from there. And also, if you do not want to do any sort of meditation or anything, all I would suggest is you can kind of, I ask for forgiveness and I forgive you, you know. So you can just sit in a position, and with your left hand on your navel, right hand below your left hand on your navel, press your navel and just say, I ask for forgiveness and I forgive you. And you can keep chanting that. That would be one of the very good things that you can do on this full moon day. Any which ways, a lot of culmination happens during full moons. As we know, new moon is the time when we try to kind of put seeds of whatever is happening, and full moon is the time when we reap those seeds, you know. So yeah, unfortunately or fortunately, a picture is going to be more clear this time. It's one of the eccentric full moons, definitely one of the eccentric full moons. And but again, you know, everything happens for a reason, and all I would suggest you is to be calm and balanced and rational, and yeah, help yourself and help others. I would like to do a quick reading. I'm sorry, I'm still not out of my illness. Like most of the people know, I was down for a very bad viral. Still not been out of it, but this was a very important event and I wanted to cover this, so I thought, you know, of doing this. So just remember, we are at the peak of all our emotions, and some of the points that I would like to kind of give to all the zodiacs, so that it becomes easier for them to understand how they kind of work, carry out. So my first zodiac sign would be Aries, and the emotions that Aries has to work is to kind of reset and recalibrate, because the way that you have been going around, it's kind of not the right way. The things that you have been moving around with the mindset, with the plan, or whatever you have been going around, that's not the right way, it's not the right approach. Probably it's because of the stars. Like I said, always, you can always blame it on the stars, and you can always take the credit from the stars. So for these things, I also want to say, um, kind of go two steps behind, have again, you're having a very myopic point of view at the moment, and which is very self-centered and focused on yourself. Also, you want to be on a lot of limelight, so ego again is the big issue with Arians. And so I would recommend you to kind of reset and recalibrate, let go, work for other people, have a clear and a deeper understanding for other people in life. Humility is the word that I could recommend for you. You could work on that emotion for this entire 1 month, from, of course, from 30th August to 1st September. The energies would be a little low, but this is generic reading that I have been giving, and that is what I was saying. Inspire other people's Arians. You're really good at that, so I would want Arians to do that. Inspire and be humble, lie low. Okay, for Taurians, you might be finding it a change in your career path, or you might find a little emptiness in your career path. You might not be, suddenly you have planned things, and and now you've got a more clear perspective, about things that you have not understood, or you have not taken into picture. So I would want you to have an inner look, a more detailed look at what you have doing. There are certain aspects which you have kind of not considered before. Now you are doing it, or maybe you will be able to do that. So yeah, I would want to say is kind of rediscover yourself. Also, it's time for you to take a time, the stars are also asking you to take more time for yourself, work on yourself, have self-love as your goal, of follow your heart, follow your plan, follow what you want to do, kind of. I'm not asking you to be completely crazy and then just take up an adventure vacation or something like that, not as eccentric when I say follow your heart, but somewhere deep down, that these are the things that you really wanted to do for a longer period, for the longest time. This full moon will give you that energies and courage to kind of do that. And yeah, kind of self-love, because you kind of always ignore yourself. So I would really, really want you to be in self-love. Okay. Full moon energies for Geminis. Okay, Geminis are any which ways, they are two-sided, they're two twins. Always they are, they have two perspectives. And again, incidentally, this full moon, you are supposed to have one more perspective. I don't know how you're going to handle three perspectives and bring and align them together. That's the biggest task, but you are mavericks, and you can always, you're magicians. Like magicians, you always pull out the best tricks, when you're put under pressure. So it's okay, perfectly okay to change your mind, which you keep doing again and again. Geminis are known for that. And I think it's just asking you to carry on with your own energies. Think of alternative options, have different way. It's fine to kind of scrap one plan, bring up another plan. But yeah, it's basically move towards advancement. This full moon is not as bad for you, so it's favoring Gemini. So yeah, definitely an important shift into your perspective has to happen for Geminis, and I really wish you luck. How you will be able to pull that off is something, it's like a Houdini, how you get out of it. So I would definitely love to see that. So do something unthinkable. I don't know why I keep saying this for Geminis, because they always do something unthinkable. But even if you feel it's probably not the right thing to do, give it a thought, kind of. All the best. And okay, the next sign is Cancer. Yeah. So Cancer, you're too tight. You're too tight. You need to open up. You need to kind of, change yourself, shock yourself, give yourself that uh, yeah, a shock treatment. I would say give yourself a shock treatment, and kind of, get up from the sleep that you are. um you've been living in a gaga land for a very long time, and you have not faced certain realities. It's time for you to do that thing. um Keep your attitude under control. That's very important, because if your attitude is if you cannot control your attitude, you might not be able to salvage certain situations or people or emotions, and you would kind of have to regret a lot. But at the end, also the stars are asking you to keep focus on your relationships. That's the part which you have not given too much of thought to, or you have been overthinking about the entire thing, and thus causing your partner a little issues. So kind of a step back towards it. Allow to breathe, allow others to breathe, kind of bring in a different energies into your life, a different thought pattern. And also it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. So there you go, Cancerians. Leo. Wow, Leo. um it's this full moon is happening right now in Leo zodiac signs, and definitely with Leons it's going to be, you're going to be caught up with the whole drama of emotions, and all lot of issues, and relationships, and all of that is going to be part of your life. Again, Leos, you are tend to be acting little reckless. If you do not put your mind in proper perspective, there is a whole lot of chance of you to take up some reckless decisions in your life, which may cause you unhealthy situations, or health could be affected, or relationships could be affected. So it is advised to have a little focus, a little sharing, a little be more compassionate. And definitely health is a prime focus for Leons here, because a lot of energies are going to be bombarded into the zodiacs, and definitely it is going to be too much for all the Leons and partial Virgins to take that. And the one of the side effect could be health could be at a risk. So be very extra careful about your health. But with Leos, it's always, they are like the lions, and they are like the rulers, and they always go by intuitions. So follow your intuitions. Have legal opinions about everybody, understand everything, but have your own instinct and work on that. That's how it is going. But take care of your health, Leos. Next in line is Virgo. um Virgins are you need to bring out your healing abilities. Definitely, Virgos, you need to bring out your healing abilities. But also, most important thing is that you're not quite aware of what your powers are. And maybe this full moon will radiate quite enough into your confusion state of period, and it will illuminate it will illuminate your path and throw the darkness out of your life, and probably help you see a more clear picture of what things you have to kind of do into your life. Virgos are the people who are mainly working for others rather than themselves. So again, it's a time for you to work on yourself. Uh, don't resist too much and to breaking of all these things, kind of breaking the barriers. Don't do, kind of move ahead with courage, but let the inner beauty shine. Focus on yourself, focus on inner self. Bring out the healer qualities in you and work your situation out of it. I think you've been quiet for a very long time, Virgos, and it's time for you to get up and shine, kind of. So move your asses, is what I would want to say for your Virgo. The next in time is Libra. Librans are the most free-spirited person that we would be seeing in this full moon period, you know. But you also need to take a tough stand, you know, for a situation or an emotion or expressions or aspect of life, you know. So you need to do that. You have to stop playing for a while and get more serious. Start taking responsibilities. Take different choices, you know. Ideally that is recommended to take different choices, especially the roads that you have not taken. You can try thinking of that, you know. Certain choices may not work favorable in terms of the outcome, but in terms of experience it's going to be a real path breaking thing, you know. So I think I want you to step out of your comfort zone. You can always be the free spirit that you are and you want to be, but it's important that you also kind of understand the responsibilities that weighs on your shoulders, and there are a lot of people looking up to you. So it's time for you to kind of, you know, stop being an adult and stop being a kid and be a mature adult person, you know. Be a man is what I would like to say to Librans. Yeah. Okay, for Scorpios. Okay, Scorpios, they are having the most strongest connection to this full moon, we can say. So, by virtue, Scorpios would be feeling maximum insecurities. They would feel they do not belong here. A lot of awakenings and ascension of energies is possible to Scorpions. Um, uh, a rootlessness, a feeling of not being at one place is going to be a big issue. So kind of ground yourself, do some activities which are good for you. Take up pottery, spend some time in garden, that would be good for you. Work on your root chakra, because that is going to kind of center you with the earth, you know, like I mean, connecting with your childhood friends. So it's kind of time to kind of also bring out your emotions, you know, let out your emotions, but in the best possible way. Definitely not by you know, choice of words. Please use the right choice of words by when you're expressing yourself. Otherwise you can be the child that you want to be, Scorpions. The next in line is going to be Sagittarius, and Sagittarius, oh my god, a lot of information is going to be downloaded into the Sagittarius zodiacs, and it's going to be kind of crazy. So you will be seeing all the Sagittarians will be kind of WhatsApping and forwarding and sharing, and a lot of all this out outcome of ego is outcome of information is going to be happening with Sagittarians people, you know, like Ave. But also in the meantime, I would like to say giving too much of yourself is also going to be putting you into an emotional vulnerability state. I would want you to kind of held back. Take a composed self, do meditation. All the Sagittarians, please, you need to ground yourselves, you need to be anchored yourself. Yeah, you can help other people's, but also you can also, it's not bad of asking for help also, you know, like I mean. So do what lies best into your heart, you know, kind of, you know. Self focus is more important. Don't give away yourself to other people, you know. That is the bottom line for Scorpions. The next in line is going to be Capricorn, and Capricorns are going to be uh, uh, practical people. Yeah, they're going to be one of the most practical people that you can see in this entire stand, and it's going to be Scorpio. It's Capricorn, sorry. But it also, it's kind of time for financial management. You kind of have to it's kind of a wake-up call. You've been making really bad money choices, and financially you're on an insecure level, you know. So there's a lot of inner insecurity that's happening with you. So in order, your basic core is to probably ask for some financial help, legal advisors. You might need all of those people. If you're in work on your books of accounts and take some help, because eventually it can lead you to other problems. If you're not paid tax, or if you're into all those unethical ways, try to find out a way with your CAs and try to sort it out right now, so that eventually you do not have a bigger mess to sort, or to clear, kind of, you know. So yeah, and don't be affected by fluctuations that's kind of happening in the financial world. But yeah, again, I would like to say is if you can chant Lakshmi mantra or Mahalakshmi mantra, that would be very good for you, because you are going to be needing a lot of financial help, you know. So before making any financial decisions, think, rethink, ask for a expert's opinion, and then move about it. um, Aquarius. All right, it's the Aquarius full moon happening in Leo. So naturally, Aquarius is definitely going to be affected, and Aquarius is a very emotional sign, you know. And so there is what I would want you to do is invest a lot in your own self. Take an honest look into yourself, an objective look into your behavior. Focus on yourself, rather than giving out on others, you know. And don't be too emotional. Be a little practical, be logical. Like at the beginning of the this video, I had been telling, be very practical and logical and rational. The same thing applies to you right now also. You do have many talents, and I would want you to kind of put your talents out, bring out your talents. There are the things that you don't know, so you can take up unexpected courses, or completely different irrelevant courses that you've never thought of, which seemed irrelevant to you at that moment, but you can now start thinking about them, taking about them, and then you can work on that. That would be good, you know. And the last but not the least is the Pisces sign, and Pisces are tempted to just kind of do all the things that they want to do, you know. Like, I mean, they always rise to the occasion, and they want to be, you know, they're the extremely sensitive people, loving and caring and reaching out to all the other people. And the same emotions has to be invested in yourself along with the others also, you know. So do not ignore yourself at the same time. At the same, also it is asking you to kind of take care of your um, um, heart and lungs, and work on your heart chakra, because that is, I think, that could be affected in the during this season, you know. So do not get overwhelmed with anything. Put your emotions under check. Be your on your guard, emotional guard. There are a whole lot of chances of you being cheated or you being taken for a ride because of a good Samaritan that your people might try to take an advantage. All I would want you to do is think with your brain and not your heart for a change. So that's all for this crazy eccentric full moon that we have been discussing. I tried to cover maximum what I could, you know. I know this is a little longer video than I expected, but yeah, that's what it is all about. So see you, thank you so much, and in love, light and peace, I'm Najra Doshi signing off. Bye bye, good day.